didn't cry when they told me I was marrying the most dangerous man in the city. I didn't cry when I saw the bloodstain on his cufflinks. And I definitely didn't cry when he lifted my chin during our wedding vows and whispered, "Run, and I will burn the world to find you." But I should have been afraid. Because the devil wasn't threatening me. He was promising to protect me. The wedding hall shimmered with gold chandeliers and silent fear. Everyone there respected him. But no one loved him. The powerful Mafia king of the underworld. His name alone made grown men lower their eyes. Damien Cade. Tall. Dark. Untouchable. A tailored black suit fit his muscular frame like armor. His jaw was sharp enough to cut glass. His expression. Cold. Controlled. Deadly. And I was now his wife. This wasn't romance. This was a contract. My father had debts. Dangerous ones. And Damien didn't want money. He wanted me. I stood at the altar in a white silk gown, my hands steady despite the storm inside me. I would not give him the satisfaction of fear. When the priest said, "You may kiss the bride," Damien didn't hesitate. He stepped forward slowly. His fingers wrapped around my waist, firm, possessive, not painful, but unmistakably claiming. The kiss wasn't soft. It was slow, deliberate, dominating, a warning. The room erupted in applause. But his lips lingered against my ear. "You're shaking," he murmured. "I'm not afraid of you," I replied quietly. A pause. Then the faintest smirk touched his lips. "You should be." That night, I expected cruelty. Instead, I found something worse. Control. The mansion was enormous, marble floors, towering windows, armed guards at every entrance. I wasn't just married. I was secured. He didn't touch me immediately. He poured himself a drink and watched me from across the room like I was a puzzle he intended to solve. "Do you know why I chose you?" he asked. "You needed leverage over my father." "No." His voice was calm. Too calm. "I chose you because you don't bow." My heart skipped. "I don't belong to you," I said. He crossed the room in 3 long steps. Before I could move, his hand gripped my chin. Not harsh, but firm. "You belong wherever I decide you belong." The air thickened. But then, he let go. "You'll sleep in the master bedroom. And you." A pause. "With you." My breath caught. But he didn't touch me again. He simply lay beside me, close enough for his warmth to press against my back. And for the first time, I noticed something terrifying. He didn't treat me like property. He treated me like something precious. Days passed. The city whispered about us. The Mafia king had finally taken a wife. But whispers turned into threats. One afternoon, I found a letter on my vanity. 3 words written in red ink. "He will ruin you." I didn't have time to process it. Gunshots exploded downstairs. Screams followed. My blood ran cold. Before I could move, the bedroom door burst open. Damien stood there. Blood splattered across his white shirt. Not his blood. The look in his eyes. Rage. He walked toward me slowly. "Did you leave this room?" he asked quietly. "No." His jaw tightened. "Good." More gunshots echoed. I flinched. He noticed. And something in him snapped. He pulled me against his chest, strong arms wrapping around me like armor. "I told them," he muttered darkly. "Told who?" "That my queen is not to be touched." Queen. The word hit differently now. Suddenly, a bodyguard rushed in. "Sir, there was a breach." One escaped. Damien's expression turned lethal. "Find him." He turned back to me. And for the first time, I saw fear in his eyes. Not for himself. For me. "If anyone ever points a weapon in your direction again," his voice dropped into something almost inhuman, "I will erase their entire bloodline." My heart pounded. Not from fear. From realization. I wasn't trapped with a monster. I was protected by one. That night, when the mansion fell silent again, I finally asked the question burning inside me. "Why do you really care if I live?" He stood by the window, looking out at the city he ruled. Long silence. Then, because you are the only thing in this world that is mine, without fear. The confession stunned me. He turned slowly. And I will destroy anyone who tries to take you. My pulse raced. But I wasn't scared anymore. Not of him. I was beginning to fear something else. The way my heart reacted when he said mine. The next morning, I woke up alone. The sheets were cold. A single note rested on the pillow. 3 words in his handwriting. They know you. My stomach dropped. Know me? Before I could think further, my phone buzzed. An unknown number. A picture message. It was me. Standing at the balcony last night. Taken from outside the gates. Someone was watching. And for the first time since marrying the devil, I realized. The danger wasn't coming for him. It was coming for me the first time another woman looked at me like she wanted me dead. I was standing beside my husband. And he was holding my hand like I was something sacred. That was the moment I realized. Loving the devil wasn't dangerous. Being loved by him was. The gala was suffocating. Diamonds glittered under golden chandeliers. Politicians laughed too loudly. Powerful men whispered in corners. And every single one of them watched Damien Cade. But tonight, they were watching me too. His hand rested firmly at the small of my back as we walked through the ballroom. Not possessive in a suffocating way. Possessive in a claiming way. As if daring someone to challenge it. Relax, he murmured near my ear. I am relaxed. You stopped breathing 3 steps ago. I resisted the urge to glare at him. His lips twitched. He enjoyed this. Watching me adjust to his world. Suddenly, the crowd parted. A woman approached us. Tall. Elegant. Beautiful. Her dress was silver silk, cut perfectly to command attention. Her smile was flawless. But her eyes were sharp. Damien, she purred smoothly. He didn't remove his hand from my back. Celine. Her gaze slid to me. Slowly. Assessing. Judging. Dismissing. So this is the wife, she said. Not your wife. Just the wife. I held her stare. And you are? I asked calmly. The air shifted. Damien's fingers tightened slightly against my waist. Celine Armand, she replied. An old ally. Ally. The word carried history. The way she looked at him confirmed it. She stepped closer, too close. You surprised many of us with your marriage, she said softly to Damien. We assumed you preferred control. His expression didn't change. I do. Her eyes flickered. To temporary things. Silence fell like a blade. I understood then. She wasn't just an ally. She had expected to stand where I was standing. And she hated that I did. Damien's voice cut through the tension. My wife is not temporary. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just absolute. Something dark flashed in Celine's eyes. And that was when I knew. She would never accept me. Later that evening, I stepped onto the balcony for air. The city lights shimmered below like fallen stars. I exhaled slowly. You shouldn't be alone. The voice came from behind me. Celine. I didn't turn. I'm not alone. A pause. Then her heels clicked closer. You don't understand the world you married into, she said quietly. Damien is not a man who loves. I faced her now. Maybe you never gave him a reason to. Her composure cracked for half a second. Then she smiled again. You think you're special? No, I replied evenly. I think I'm his wife. Her eyes hardened. Your leverage. Before I could respond, a sharp crack split the air. Glass shattered beside my head. Gunshot. Time slowed. Celine screamed. Another shot rang out. I barely registered the impact before strong arms slammed into me. Damien. He tackled me to the marble floor, shielding my body with his. More chaos exploded inside the ballroom. Guards shouting. People running. Gunfire echoing. His hand gripped the back of my head, forcing my face against his chest. Don't move. His voice was no longer calm. It was lethal. Another shot. Closer. Then silence. Heavy breathing. Footsteps rushing. Target neutralized, sir. Damien didn't move. He stayed over me for several seconds longer, as if confirming I was real. Alive. Finally, he lifted his head. His eyes scanned my face. You're bleeding. My fingers touched my temple. A shallow cut from flying glass. I'm fine. His jaw tightened violently. You were alone. I stepped outside for air. His gaze shifted past me. To Celine, who stood trembling near the doorway. Unharmed. Something unreadable flickered across his face. Get her inside, he ordered his men. He didn't look away from Celine as he spoke. And she knew it. I saw it in the way her confidence faltered. Back at the mansion, the doctor cleaned the cut on my head. Damien stood nearby, silent. Watching. When the doctor left, the room felt heavier. You were warned not to leave secured areas, he said finally. I refuse to live like a prisoner. You are not a prisoner. Then stop treating me like something fragile. His eyes darkened. You were almost shot. And you almost killed someone. Silence. His control slipped for a fraction of a second. You think I enjoy this? He asked quietly. I don't know what you enjoy. He crossed the room suddenly. Backed me gently, but firmly, against the wall. His hands braced on either side of me, caging me without touching. You want honesty, he said, voice low. I nodded. I enjoy knowing you're safe. His breath brushed my skin. I enjoy knowing that anyone who looks at you with harm in their heart disappears. My pulse quickened. That isn't love, I whispered. No, he agreed. It's obsession. The word hung between us. But he didn't deny it. I have built an empire on control, he continued. On fear. On precision. His forehead almost touched mine. And you are the only variable I cannot control. My heart pounded. Does that bother you? Yes. A beat. And no. His hand finally touched my waist. Gentle. Not claiming. Just grounding. You make me dangerous in ways my enemies don't understand. The truth of that sent a chill through me. Was it random? I asked quietly. The shooting? His eyes went cold. No. Then who? Long silence. Then. Someone who believes removing you will weaken me. Celine's face flashed in my mind. You suspect her. I suspect everyone. His gaze softened slightly. But if she had anything to do with it. He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. Later that night, I couldn't sleep. The balcony doors were locked. Guards doubled. Security tightened. I walked toward Damien's office. The door was slightly open. Voices inside. She was outside alone, a man said. Yes, Damien replied. You were informed she would step out. My breath stopped. Informed. A pause. Then Damien's voice turned icy, which means someone inside my circle wanted her exposed. Silence. Then. And I will find out who. My heart raced. Because suddenly, the danger wasn't just outside the mansion. It was inside it. And the devil I married was about to go to war. The first time I saw my husband truly afraid. There was no gun in his hand. No enemies at his feet. No blood on his shirt. There was only me. Missing. It happened in under 60 seconds. One moment, I was stepping out of the car in front of the private charity foundation Damien funded under a false name. The next. The world went black. A cloth over my mouth. The sharp scent of chemicals. Strong arms lifting me. I tried to fight. But darkness swallowed everything. When I woke up, my hands were tied. The room was unfamiliar. Cold concrete walls. A single hanging bulb swinging gently above me. Abandoned warehouse. Classic. My head throbbed, but my thoughts were sharp. Footsteps echoed. Slow. Deliberate. Celine stepped into the light. Of course. She looked immaculate. Calm. Controlled. You're predictable, she said softly. I laughed dryly. Kidnapping me is predictable. She tilted her head. You don't understand what you've done. What I've done. I snapped. You shot at me. Her expression hardened. That wasn't my order. That made me pause. You expect me to believe that? Yes. Silence stretched between us. She stepped closer. I would never risk Damien's wrath recklessly. So this is careful? Her lips curved faintly. I didn't bring you here to kill you. Then why am I tied to a chair? She leaned down slightly. To show you something. The warehouse door creaked open behind her. 3 men walked in. Not Damien's. Rough. Nervous. Armed. One of them spoke. We were paid to eliminate the wife. My blood ran cold. Celine's eyes never left mine. By who? She asked calmly. The man hesitated. Then. By someone inside Cade's inner circle. My heart pounded violently. Celine straightened. You see, she said quietly to me. This isn't about jealousy. Then what is it about? War. Across the city, Damien Cade was unraveling. The moment my car arrived at the foundation without me, everything stopped. Security footage reviewed. Guards interrogated. Phone lines traced. Within 30 minutes, he knew it was an inside breach. Within 40. 2 men were already dead. He didn't shout. He didn't panic. That was the terrifying part. He went silent. And when Damien Cade went silent, empires fell. Back in the warehouse, Celine paced slowly. Someone wants him destabilized, she said. You are the weakness. I am not his weakness. Her gaze sharpened. No. You are his obsession. The word hit harder this time. He will burn this city to the ground for you. And you don't like that. She stopped walking. I built alliances with him. Bled for his empire. Stood beside him when no one else would. Her voice didn't tremble. But something inside it cracked. And then you appeared. I met her gaze steadily. I didn't ask for this. No, she agreed quietly. But he chose you. Footsteps suddenly thundered outside. Gunfire exploded. The men guarding the door shouted. Celine's head snapped toward the entrance. And then, the warehouse doors blasted inward. Smoke. Chaos. Screams. Gunshots. Damien walked through the haze like death itself. Black suit. Cold eyes. Controlled fury. He didn't even glance at Celine. His entire focus locked onto me. Tied. Bruised. Alive. Something inside him broke. Within seconds, the armed men were on the floor. Disarmed. Beaten. Bleeding. Damien crossed the room in long strides. He dropped to his knees in front of me. His hands shook slightly as he untied the ropes. You're hurt. I'm fine. But he didn't believe me. His fingers traced my wrists gently where the rope had marked my skin. Then his forehead pressed briefly against mine. And in that quiet, terrifying moment, the Mafia king looked human. You should have killed me when you had the chance, Celine said calmly from behind us. The room froze. Damien stood slowly, turned. His expression was lethal. You took her. Yes. The guards raised their weapons. He lifted a hand slightly. They lowered them. You endangered her, he said quietly. Yes. A long silence stretched. She's alive, Celine continued. Because I needed her to hear the truth. Damien's jaw tightened. Which is? That someone you trust is trying to destroy you. The air thickened. He didn't react outwardly. But I saw it. The calculation. The pieces moving. Leave, he ordered her. The guards hesitated. Sir. I said leave her. Shock flickered across everyone's faces. Including mine. Celine studied him carefully. You're making a mistake. Go. After a long pause. She did. Later that night, back at the mansion, I stood in his office. You let her go. Yes. She kidnapped me. She exposed something more dangerous. I crossed my arms. And what is that? His eyes met mine. There is a traitor sitting at my table. Silence. And until I know who, he continued, I cannot afford internal fractures. I exhaled slowly. You trust her. I trust information. That answer unsettled me. He stepped closer. You were unconscious for 6 minutes. How do you know? I replayed the footage 15 times. His voice lowered. I have never experienced fear like that. The confession hit harder than any gunshot. I thought I lost you, he admitted. My chest tightened. You didn't. His hand rose slowly, rested against my cheek. If I ever do. His jaw flexed. The world will not survive it. My pulse raced. Damien, I whispered, this isn't healthy. No, he agreed softly. It isn't. And yet, he didn't let go. The next morning, Damien called a private meeting. His most trusted men. His inner circle. I stood beside him. Watching. Studying faces. One of them avoided my eyes. Just slightly. Barely noticeable. But Damien saw it too. He stepped forward calmly. Someone in this room ordered my wife's death. Silence fell like a blade. And then, one man reached for his gun. Before anyone could react, a single shot rang out. The body hit the floor. But it wasn't the man who moved. It was someone else. And Damien's expression changed. Because the traitor was someone he had called brother. The man who betrayed my husband didn't beg for his life. He begged for mine. And that was when I understood something terrifying. The war was never about power. It was about me. The gunshot still echoed in my ears. The body on the marble floor wasn't the one who reached for his weapon. It was Marcus. Damien's closest friend. His right hand. The man he called brother. Marcus collapsed slowly, blood spreading across his white shirt. The room froze. Guards stunned. Men confused. But Damien didn't move. He simply stared. Marcus coughed, struggling for breath. It wasn't supposed to happen like this, he rasped. You ordered her death, Damien said quietly. Not angry. Not shouting. Just empty. Marcus's eyes flickered toward me. I warned you, he whispered weakly. She makes you weak. The words sliced through the silence. Damien's jaw flexed. She makes me human. Marcus laughed painfully. That's worse. And then, he looked at me. Run. Before I could react, another explosion rocked the mansion. The windows shattered. Alarms screamed. Smoke poured into the room. The guards rushed into formation. External breach, someone shouted. Damien grabbed my wrist instantly. Stay behind me. More gunfire erupted outside. This wasn't random. This was coordinated. Marcus had been the inside access. And now whoever he worked with was finishing the job. The mansion became a battlefield. Men in black tactical gear stormed the gates. Bullets ricocheted off marble pillars. Glass rained from the ceilings. Damien moved like controlled chaos. Precise. Lethal. Every shot he fired landed. Every movement calculated. But no matter how many enemies fell, they kept coming. They're pushing toward the east wing, a guard yelled. My stomach dropped. The east wing. The private quarters. They know the layout, Damien muttered. Betrayal ran deeper than one man. Another blast shook the building. The power flickered. Emergency lights bathed the halls in red. It felt like the mansion itself was bleeding. Damien pulled me into a secure hallway. Go to the panic room. No. His eyes snapped to mine. You will not argue with me. I'm not leaving you. His breathing was heavy now. Controlled fury cracking at the edges. You think this is a game, he snapped. I think we survive together. Silence. Gunfire closer now. He stepped toward me suddenly. Cupped my face with both hands. You are the only thing in this world I cannot replace. My chest tightened. Then stop trying to protect me like I'm fragile. His gaze searched mine. Then, something shifted. A realization. You're right, he said quietly. Before I could respond, he reached into his jacket. Placed a gun in my hand. It was heavier than I expected. If anyone points a weapon at you, He said evenly, "You pull the trigger." My pulse thundered. "You trust me with this?" "I trust you with my life." The words burned. Another group of armed men rounded the corner. No time left. Damien stepped forward. I stood behind him. Until one attacker broke formation and aimed past him. At me. Time slowed. I remembered the warehouse. The balcony. The fear. The obsession. The promise. Without thinking, I lifted the gun. And fired. The man dropped instantly. Silence. Smoke. The ringing in my ears. Damien turned slowly. His eyes locked onto mine. Not shocked. Not angry. Proud. "You learn fast," he murmured. Minutes later, the attackers retreated. Sirens echoed in the distance. The mansion was scarred. Broken glass. Bloodstains. Burned walls. But we were alive. Marcus's body had been taken away. The truth unraveled quickly after. He had aligned himself with a rival syndicate. He believed Damien's emotional attachment to me would destabilize the empire. He wasn't entirely wrong. But he underestimated something. He underestimated me. Later that night, the mansion was quiet again. Repaired temporarily. Guards doubled. Security tripled. I stood on the same balcony where this chaos began. The city lights shimmered below. Damien joined me silently. "You killed a man tonight," he said. "Yes. Do you regret it?" I looked at him steadily. "He would have killed you." A long pause. Then, "No." The wind moved through my hair. "You were supposed to be leverage," he said softly. "I know. You were supposed to be temporary. I know." His hand slid around my waist. "But you became something else." "And what is that?" He turned me gently toward him. "Not dominance. Not control. Something deeper. You became my equal." My heart skipped. "Damien Cade," I said quietly, "if we do this, we do it as partners." His eyes darkened slightly. "We?" "Yes. No more hiding me. No more treating me like glass." A slow breath left him. "You want the throne? I want the fire that comes with it." A long silence. Then, he smiled. Not the cold smirk. Not the controlled expression. A real one. "Careful what you ask for, Queen." The word felt different now. Not possession. Not obsession. Choice. He took my hand. Lifted it. Pressed his lips to my knuckles. And for the first time, it didn't feel like I married the devil. It felt like the devil married his match. They feared the Mafia king. They whispered about his brutality. But soon, they would learn to fear something far more dangerous. His queen.